Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be looking at every single encounter in set 11 of TFT. We're going to be going over what they all are, what ones are the best ones, and which ones you can take advantage of. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you do, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and leave a little comment down below. It'll really help out the channel. So the first encounter you can come across is Aatrox. So Aatrox will offer you a component anvil, some player health, or some gold. The best one here in my opinion is a component anvil. Basically getting the right items early on in the game is perfect, and if you can hit an Aatrox encounter early on, this can be very powerful. The next one will be Ari. So Ari basically grants everyone increased player health. This is pretty much a nothing burger. It doesn't really matter in my opinion. Like, everyone gets the same amount of health. It doesn't really affect the game all too much. Next one is Ari bestows your team a combat blessing for the rest of the game. Now generally what that is it is either attack speed, AP, or some health. So Ari can also bestow your team with a combat blessing for the rest of the game. This would be either AD, AP, or health. We then have a Loon. So a Loon will permanently empower one of your champions. So it'll be your 2 cost, your 3 cost, or your 4 costs. This can be really powerful if you're running a reroll build. So if you're running like a ghostly 2 cost reroll, you pick that one. This is a very big boost. If you're running like a bard build or a Yum build, you'll pick the 3 cost boost. That'll be very, very nice. So a Loon can also add a completed item onto each champion on the carousel. Again, this is quite nice, but it does tend to even out for everyone because everyone gets one. Obviously, the better priority having a carousel, the better this one is for you. And a Loon offers you a choice of completed items. So again, you get a little completed item anvil. You get to pick one that fits your team best. This is quite good, but obviously, like the one just before this, it can be bad if you don't get the item you need for your comp and someone else does. So next up on Mumu. So he will fill the carousel with his 2-star 3 cost friends. This is amazing if you're running like a Yum build or a bar build, anything like this, because you can just get your power spike a lot sooner if you don't have your level 2 already. And if you're, one off your 3-star, this will be really, really helpful for you. Mumu can also give gifts to anyone that will be his friend. So essentially what this means is either you'll gain +1 to your team size, or you'll fight a challenging PvE round and get some powerful rewards like items. We then have Annie. So Annie offers you better shops or more gold for the next few rounds. This only spawns in stage 3 as far as I know. For the first one, you can get 3 rounds where your shops are 1 level higher, or you can get 3 rounds where you get double of your interest. So FABLES can call down 2 component anvils. This is one of my favorites personally because there's a lot of times where you have half items and you can just essentially fill them up and then get your big power spike. Obviously it benefits everyone essentially equally, but it is one of my favorite ones personally. So Ash will reveal your upcoming opponent for the rest of the game, and Ash will reveal your upcoming opponent for the next 3-player combat. So really this is nice at a really high end of TFT, but whenever you're like below diamond, this really does not matter because no one's really changing the position of their team. So isn't that great? Azir moves the 3-2 and 4-2 augments to random rounds. Now this can be good and bad because it takes away some consistency from the game. It can also make it so you get your augments really early or really late. So it can be good or bad, but overall it doesn't generally affect the game too much. But Azir can also grant 6 free rerolls that last until they're used. This is really, really good because you don't have to spam them if you're level 4 and you see Azir. You can just wait till you hit like level 7 or whatever you're needing to be, and then you can spam 6 rerolls out and find maybe a 2-star 3 cost pretty quickly. So Bard levels each player up to level 3. Now this can be good if again you're going for like a 3-star comp, but if you're going for a Caitlyn reroll, this is actually quite annoying because you're going to miss 3 rounds or so of being able to get those 1-cost champions quite frequently. So Caitlyn can grant you 4 free rerolls this round, so this is one where you do have to use it on the particular round. It is still very good, everyone gets it. I do like it because generally you reroll and they get a bit of a power spike, a level 2 champion, be very, very helpful. So Cho'Gath offers you a boon if you stay as hunger. So essentially what this means is that you will lose 1 shop slot in exchange for 3 components. This is generally really bad for a reroll comp. It's something you would maybe take in the end game if you're like level 8, level 9. You have your entire comp on the board and you're not too worried about getting stronger players. You just need to hit a couple of items to buff them. I usually just hit no on this every time. Cho'Gath can also give you 2 lesser champion duplicators or 1 large champion duplicator. Again, generally it's up to you what you pick here. If you're looking to duplicate like a Wukong, take the big one. But a lot of the time if you're just trying to hit your 3-star Yun, something like this, it's beneficial to take the 2 lessers just to get the security. So then we have Darius. So every time an enemy champion is killed, they have a 30% chance of dropping some loot. This can be, components, lesser champion duplicators, things like this, just coins. So Darius also for 5 rounds will transform champions in highlighted bench slots on the right hand side of your bench. This is very, very, very good in my opinion, and it can be extremely good in the later stages of the game if you happen to encounter him. So what this basically means is you can have 3 forecasts on the right of your bench. They can re-roll, and you can potentially hit like a level 2 of a forecast you actually want. Same thing for like a 3 cost. Say you're very close to your Yone, you need 1 more Yone. Put 3 random 3 costs on there. You have 5 rounds with just re-rolling these, so 15 attempts basically. Like getting what you want. So Darius can also give you a choice between 20 XP or 10 free rerolls. Now it really depends where you are in the game and what you're trying to achieve here. Generally I would take the 10 free rerolls every single time, but it is entirely up to you guys, I guess, on your personal scenario. So Diana will offer you a treasure armory that can be rerolled up to 3 times. So essentially she's going to offer you a couple of really strong items. You can re-roll it if you don't like it to find your comp up to 10 times essentially, but that does cost 1 gold per re-roll. And usually you will find something you do need, but not always. So Diana this round, whenever you sell a unit, cleaves their items into their components. So this can be very, very good if you're getting like completed item anvils, if you're just having a bunch of items that you want to slam early and you don't want them anymore, you can take them all off and you can essentially rebuild better items for your team. And there is a variation of that where it happens just this round and where it happens for the rest of the game. So Galio adds a defensive component to every champion on the carousel. Again, this is a little bit of a nice extra item on the carousel. It just helps you in completing some of your items for your build. So Garen, for the next 3 rounds, any champion purchase gain 100 permanent health. So this can be very, very nice. But again, 100 permanent health isn't actually that much in the grand scheme of things, but it is a nice little boost if you get this early, I suppose. So Nar fills the carousel with his 2-star 2-cost friends. So again, this can be quite nice if you're going for like a ghostly reroll, you're looking for a level 2 Shen, something like this. You can really get you ahead of the opponents. And then Nar can also let you reroll the next augment 1 additional time. So instead of rerolling everything once, you can reroll it all twice. Really helps if you're looking for something like a Gargantuan Resolve to really, you know, carry the game if you're building like a Yone build or a Volibear build, anything like this. So next up we have Hui. So this one causes your first shop slot to be tailored for the rest of the game. So Hui can also paint an entire carousel full of 5-cost champions. This is very good if again you're just looking to get your like last Wukong to slot in or your Udyr or something to slot in for a build. Very, very helpful. Hui paints a dummy for the next 5 rounds, gain 1 gold every time it survives a player combat. So there's a couple of augments just like this. Essentially it's not the most powerful thing in the world, but does sponge some of the damage and it can get you some extra gold. So Alawi moves the 3-2 augment to a random round, and Alawi can grant you 8 free rerolls this round. So moving the augment doesn't really affect the game all too much in my opinion, and the 8 free rerolls is very, very nice depending on when you get it, because yeah, you'll be able to hit your champions a bit easier. So Irelia frees all players to move freely on the carousel. This is quite nice, but everyone does get the same benefit, so it really just depends on what is closest to you on the carousel as to what you get. And Irelia also for the next 2 rounds can cause your shops to show 1 champion of each cost. Again, this is very, very nice because obviously you're going to be guaranteed a 5 cost and a 4 cost in every shop. It's really going to help you round out your build for 2 rounds. So Janna grants you with 2 Zephyrs which vanish after 3 rounds. I personally hate this one because I just hate basically taking champions out of a fight. For me it's annoying, but yeah, you get these for 3 rounds and it goes away, so it's not so bad. So Janna gives you a choice between different champions, so you get to have a couple of different tier champions there as your choice. Janna also offers you a treasure armory that can be rerolled up to 10 times, so again just similar to what we had before. Give you some powerful items, you just reroll them until you get something that you want and fits your team. So Jax offers you a weapon from different armories, so you get to pick either a support item or an artifact item. Generally, I go for support item personally because it can buff the entire team, whereas an artifact's more of a 1-person thing. So Jax also gives you the choice between gold rerolls or champions. Usually I would pick rerolls in this scenario, but it is up to you guys on what stage you're at. So Kaisa offers you an item remover with infinite uses or some gold. The gold is usually about 5 coins, so I would almost always take the infinite remover so you can slam items and then move them later on to the actual people you want them on. Kane can end the game at stage 4-5. Your position then is your final placement. I really dislike that one because a lot of builds are slow burns. A lot of people can be very strong with really weak build in the early game and just sort of win. It's kind of interesting, but I don't like it because it does entirely change the concept of TFT for that game. So King can also grant you a Death Blade and a Death Cap for 3 rounds. So again, this doesn't really have too much effect on the game because everyone gets these. I can apply them to similar champions. It just might be slightly better on some teams than others. So Kha'Zix causes XP to cost 3 gold instead of 4 for the next 3 rounds. There's also a version of this where it just happens for the entire game. Now that is really, really nice if you're going for a fast 9 comp. If you can do something like that and spam your coins into your XP, it's really going to help you out and get where you want to be. where some people may not be taking advantage of this and sticking at level 6 to get a reroll. Kha'Zix can also give you the next augment immediately, so again that can be quite nice early if you're having a bit of a struggle. It can help you get back into the game, or if you're already just sort of excelling in the game, will make you get further ahead. So Kindred grants you training dummies, which last for 3 rounds, so these can be quite nice because it does absorb a lot of damage. So if you've got a powerful backline and a weak front line, this is very helpful for you. Kindred decrees only even levels exist this game, so I've had this before. It is very annoying. Everything's a bit different than normal. I don't like anything that completely alters the normality of a TFT game. I don't mind a buff, but this is one I don't like too much. So Kindred offers you a temporary item which lasts for 3 rounds. It can be essentially anything. It can be a bit annoying if you get a weaker item and someone gets like something really good, but you know, it is what it is. So Kindred can also offer you a choice of red or blue. So essentially what happens here is you either get a red buff or a blue buff from Kindred. 9 times out of 10 you're picking, you know, whatever one your team's based around. If you're like a Story Weave build, probably picking the red buff. If you're like a Caitlyn reroll build, you're probably picking a blue buff for Kog'Maw. So Kabuko invites you to dance with him. The more players to join in, the better the reward. Basically go to the middle, you press your little dance emote, and you'll get like a nice reward. It's generally items or gold. So Kog'Maw moves the 2/1 augment to a random round. So again, this can be quite annoying because it does take your initial power spike away. In some cases, if you're not hitting your champions, this will really affect you and you'll lose a lot of HP. Lycian offers you a treasure armory that can be rerolled up to 10 times. So again, we've got this with a couple of other champions, so the same thing there. Lillian moves all augments to random rounds. Again, it can be quite annoying because you won't hit some power spikes where you would usually expect to. So Lysandra offers to sell you as many components as you like. So I haven't encountered that one yet, but I assume it would be quite broken if you had a really high econ. So Lysandra also offers to sell you items for a very expensive price. I generally never buy the items. I think it's like 22 for a artifact item and 12 for just a component. Really not worth it in my opinion. But if you're like sitting there at level 9 or something, happen to encounter this girl, like, sure, why not? So Lux grants you 2 random support items and they vanish within 3 rounds. So again, everyone gets these. They're a mid thing. Doesn't really affect the game all too much, but can be quite nice if you're struggling to give you like 1 or 2 wins maybe. So Lux also moves the 40 augment to a random round. Again, we discussed sort of before, this doesn't really matter all too much. So for Malphite, anytime you bench a unit, he knocks their items off, and that can be either this round or there's a version where it is for the entire game. I do like that. It's very nice because you can slam items again, take them on the bench, get them off for the right champion. It's very nice. Morgana fills the carousel with 4 cost champions. Again, it can be quite good if you're like trying to get a Reaper synergy or 6 Ghostly and you see a Morgana or a Kayn on there. Things like this, very helpful for builds. Morgana can also offer you a choice. You can upgrade your next 2 cost champion, or you can get 10 gold. So it really depends on what build you're going for, but I would usually take the gold. So Neeko adds a lesser champion duplicator to every champion on the carousel. Really nice. Everyone gets the same thing. Might benefit some people more than others, but yeah, generally always nice to get a duplicator. You can get your build done a little bit sooner. So Neeko adds a general champion duplicator to everyone on the carousel. So again, very nice because you can duplicate things like your Wukongs or your Nautilus, anything like this, to get your build to be much stronger. Maybe your 1-off, your 2-star gold, which is going to, you know, carry you through the game. Very nice to get this from Neeko. So Neeko has one where they can summon a random 5-cost spirit to help for 3-player combats. The spirit doesn't contribute traits. Now this can be good because you can get a really good one and it will carry you, or you can get like a really bad one and then you're just kind of getting folded by everyone else's 5-cost, so it's hit and miss. Neeko also summons a random 3-star 1-cost spirit to help you for 3-player combats. Again, same thing, you can get like a 3-star Darius, which is very good, or you can get like a 3-star Rek'Sai, which doesn't do too much. So Ornn adds an artifact for each champion on the carousel. Again, this can be quite nice if you get like a Depth's Defiance, but some artifacts are trash in comparison to others, so really depends on when you're out of the carousel for how good this one is for you. So also Ornn offers you a choice of artifacts. This can be nice because you get a choice, I think, of 3, which will be very helpful. And Ornn also forges 6 artifact items which last for 1 round, so it's basically just a bit annoying in my opinion because it does just put in a lot of RNG into the game and makes it so people on streaks basically lose them. So Qiyana decrees that every champion on the carousel will have a radiant item, so again that can be really good depending on what you get, but again depending on when you're released from the carousel. Kiana also offers you a choice of reading items, so again from a little anvil you get to pick one, which can be a lot better than going out from the carousel. So Riven adds a component to each champion on the carousel. Just nice to get an extra component. Senna offers to set you on a win streak or a loss streak. So set for the next 3 rounds will lend you some training dummies. Again, just nice to beef up your front line a little bit, but ultimately not too game changing because everyone gets it. So set can also make you bigger. So I really hate this one because it doesn't seem to do anything. It seems to be like a waste of an encounter, and I seem to see it almost every single game, which is just really frustrating. So Shen watches over a carousel where every champion has a support item. Again, depending on when you're out of the carousel, how good that's going to be. Some support items are top tier, some of them are pretty mid. And Shen will offer you a choice of starter packs containing 1 champion and 1 component. So Sivir's rallying cry makes you speedy. Again, this really doesn't matter apart from the fact that you're a little bit faster on carousels. That is literally the only benefit to this one, so again, kind of a waste in my opinion. So Soraka adds a support item to each champion on the carousel. We've had this before. And Soraka offers you a choice of support items, so again, an anvil, some support items, you can pick what one you want. Syndra moves a 2-1 and 4-2 augment to random rounds. We've discussed that before. So Syndra unleashes a carousel of 2-star 4-cost champions. This can be incredible if you get your 2-star Kian or Silas, and depending on what build you're going, very good. You can game change things. So Tamkens gets you to stand in puddles to catch fish for him. The more fishes you get him, the more loot he's going to give you. So he'll give you coins and items, things like this, depending on how many fish you get. If someone doesn't partake, basically that means they are happy with their build and want yours to stay weak, so they may not give any fishies. So Tamkens can also offer to give you a component anvil or 10 gold. Now it generally really depends on how much you're struggling to get your main carry items. If you have your main carry items already, always take the gold. So Timo adds a golden spatula to every champion on the carousel. This is quite nice if you need it. So if you're going like a ghostly build and you're trying to hit 8, something like this, very good. If you already have one, you want to make a tactician crown, even better. Timo also lets you reroll a augment an extra time, so we've had that before. And Timo lets you guess the outcome of your next fight and will grant you a reward, so it's either 14 coins or 7 coins, depending on if you choose you're going to win, you're going to lose. So Thresh moves to 2-1 and 3-2 augments to random rounds. Thresh also releases a carousel of champions all carrying artifacts, so again, whenever you get out, might be good, might be bad. Tristana grants the gift of gold, literally just gives everyone gold. It's just generally beneficial for everyone to hit their build a bit sooner. Udyr grants 4 free rerolls that last until used, can be quite nice if you can store those at any point in the game. So Udyr grants you a support item which lasts for 3 rounds. Again, this is kind of nice, but it can take people on and off streaks, and it only lasts for 3 rounds, so it does get taken away again. So Udyr can also, for 5 gold, give you 2 components based on his chosen form, so just randomly whatever form he has, he'll give you 1 of 2 items. Follybear fills the carousel with 3 cost champions. This can be quite nice if you're 1-off hitting your level 2 or you're 1-off hitting your level 3. Wukong grants you 6 rating items which last for 1 round. Again, I'm not too much of a fan of this because it does just break your winner loss streak most of the time, because it is very RNG once you get and how strong you are on your champions. Wukong adds a radiant item to each champion on the carousel. Again, just specifically where you are in the carousel dictates how good this is. So Wukong activates chosen. This basically means that there are now 2-star units that count twice for 1 trait, and you can sell your chosen to buy a new one if you decide to pivot your build a little bit. So Zyrakan offers to recombobulate your board, which basically means every single person on your board changes their random champion 1 tier higher. Or they will give you some gold. So if you have your board you want already, take the gold. If you have absolute random stuff you're not getting spooned your build, you can recombobulate, it doesn't hurt anyone, and you'll get a lot of more powerful champions. So Yone adds a bonus offensive component to every champion on the carousel. Yone lets you reroll the next augment, offering 2 additional times. Yorick reduces the cost to reroll your shop by 1 coin for the next 3 rounds. And Yorick reduces the cost to reroll your shop by 1 just for the rest of the game. This can be quite powerful, but some people get a bit carried away and reroll immediately. You still want to sort of, you know, try and maintain your econ. You don't want to just go to 0 because it's now half price to reroll. It's really not that much difference. So Yorick lets you always field at least 7 champions regardless of your level, gain 10 gold. I have not come across this one at any point so far. It is seemingly quite rare, but I can imagine that to be quite broken, especially if you get that early on in the game. So Zoe changes reality, so only odd levels exist in the game. Again, that's something I'm not a fan of. I really dislike that personally, but I guess you could find it fun. It just does change the flow of the game like drastically. So Zoe can also grant you 2 trickster glasses. They vanish in 3 rounds. Again, this is something just designed to break streaks essentially. You can duplicate very powerful champions, and some people may fare better with no items than others. So yeah, it's just a streak breaker in my opinion. And then the last one we have here is Zyra lets you choose a component and they will grant you 3 copies of it. So it's going to be very powerful if you're looking for like a double Titans Resolve build. You can pick a bow, you can pick a piece of armor, you get 3 of them. It's very helpful. So that is every single encounter in set 11 of TFT, guys. Let me know what ones you like, dislike, what ones you hate with passion. And if you liked the video, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and a little comment down below. It'll really help us out. And I will see you in the next video.